Well, I certainly understand why you want to ask that question. It's just there's a lot of things I want to share about this topic, but posting it more randomly or doing it more seriously just made me seem like either a bastard or a creepy fan. So probably doing this in this way and an interview with questions might make it seem more organized and less creepy. Yeah, and to be clear, I won't kind of expose any VTubers and their personal information directly. I'll do my best to respect their privacy and their performances. I will only describe what happened to their careers and my feelings about them. So even you find the contents I'm saying and the experiences the VTubers went through are quite like deja vu. You've heard it from somewhere, like you know a VTuber like that. She's probably not the one that I'm talking about because there's just so many VTubers out there. Many of them have that overlapping experiences. So this video is not about any one VTuber or their identity, but more about VTuber as a whole and their relationship to the performers. I think this question is kind of similar, like you ask me, how many VTubers do I know? Because seriously, most of their real identities got exposed. Not real identities, but previous social media account. As long as they've done something before, that will be found out. And I'll say roughly about 20 or 30, because in fact, I don't know that many VTubers. I don't watch many of them. I'm even kind of reluctant to check out new VTubers. I'd rather stay in my comfort zone with some VTubers that I trusted and a fan group that I trusted. And sometimes I came to know the videos about revealing the identity of a VTuber even before knowing the VTuber herself. It just seemed there's a market for it. There's hidden secrets and reveal it and hinting at it in a subtle way. And I think once you stop putting restrictions on it, and you can discuss it all you want, it would be not that valuable. Idols, I mean real idols that performs on stage, and voice actresses. And I think there's a reason behind the overlapping between these two kind of jobs. To VTubers, certainly they all have requirements for one's talent and performing skills. And I think the kind of experiences, the previous working experiences in those performing industries would definitely help at the audition, yeah. Some others might be content creators, because VTuber is not an easy job at all. And the more famous you get, the better platform you get. That means the prerequisite is harder for you to reach. For some people, you need to have probably things you want to express and you are able to express. Then you can become a VTuber, because VTuber present content every day and they need to do it live, which means you don't have that much time to prepare and you need to take the responsibility for everything you said. And very few of them were more famous than their presence as VTubers. It's like some content creators were famous, but they choose to present themselves in a new way. And so this time the VTuber, the virtual character, the virtual streaming thing is like a virtual representation of themselves. And it's like a new media of presenting themselves. But that's very rare example. Many others, the virtual streaming career went better than their original career. I guess they just find a better way to make themselves shine. Well, I think the virtual character is like a threshold for one performer to enter that the virtual world, to present that charm, to present the charisma of virtuality. And entering the VTubing world is like embodying a character, especially when there are a bunch of audiences who also believed in you temporarily in a virtual space like the live stream, who in the same time also perform with you. So in this case, it's quite different to traditional acting and performing in film, theater, and television. Rather than performing, it's more like becoming and growing with it. So this time, the distinction, the division between the character and the performer is less obvious than the traditional ones, but the relation between them is somehow more complicated and hard to explain, and situation changes, yeah. From what I know about some VTubers and the person in real life, I first found two main categories. So the first one is when the virtual streamer's person in real life or previous social media identity is known to basically everyone. It's like an open secret. It's like a secret you won't be afraid to discuss with other fans because everyone knows. So this is quite rare. And that kind of person, I can only think of one or two. I mean, not only on YouTube, so probably two. Is when the existence of the person in real life become a very helpful element in the overall career of the character. Even when the character changes, people still evaluate the person more than the character. People follow that person to a new character. In terms of VTubers, I always place the character before the person, though I personally care more about the person, but the character is always necessary and unique. But in that kind of circumstances, the character is even sort of replaceable because the person's more important. And of course, the person's existence is first built in audience's heart through the performing of a character. But when the human's persona is established in people's heart, in audience's heart, people find that I do love this person. I would follow her, even when she starts playing this character, and when she cannot play the character anymore, or when she just graduates. The affection people once had to her will pass on to another character, maybe. And the second case is like when it's half known. Like the person used to be a content creator in music and art. She used to be an idol. She has done public performances and like at least she kind of use her voice or face to present something. As long as that's enough for people to identify her. This seemed to be kind of inevitable. And I would say this is probably the most common cases for today's virtual streaming industry. And in this case, I would say for a lot of them, the previous image, whether that's like a real person, like real face, real name, real jobs, or in another anonymous online performing identity, the image will feed into the virtual streaming image. But sometimes they get really helpful, like the two images kind of collaborate with each other and kind of extend it a little bit and make you see a more detailed, vivid person. And thus, like, there's a lot more details about the person will be added on to the character. Thus, you love both the person and the character more. And the whole existence of the character of this virtual streamer would be more vivid and believable. But there are also cases in which the previous social media identity of the VTuber was severely damaged, the current character persona. I can think of one or two. No comments on that? Yes, there's one last kind, and it was not there probably half of a year ago. I mean, it does exist, but I didn't really pay attention to that because there's just not so many VTubers I knew were in that categorization. Probably just one, and it doesn't really change anything. It does not bring any specific meanings in this discussion because honestly, that's how things should be. It's my most recent obsession. A vagina group called ASO. I've mentioned them for a few times, but still, they're still very unique in this discussion. I mean, they've debuted for almost a year now, and it's not like they're not popular. No, they are very popular and controversial. They have many antis, and their fan groups are the most enthusiastic, most funny, and creepiest of all fan groups that I've ever seen. It's really hard to imagine. And also, they have 5 girls in the group, but none of their kind of previous identities got revealed. It's just surprising, you know. It's not that I really want to know, but the fact that no one finds out and no reliable sources is quite amazing, I would say. And exactly because we know very less about the real identity of them, the virtuality of the characters got preserved in a way. The characters they are performing are not quite, fictional. But as I mentioned in my earlier video, that this is basically like a video essay, their story, their narrative kind of placed them in a very realistic setting. They have names that are quite similar to normal people. They all live in the same city and study in the same university. And everything they said, every character role-playing they've done are basically role-playing university students. So everything about them, it seems just so real. It feels like they just live next door. I sometimes even feel like watching a Truman Show. But the difference being this time the Truman knows everything and can control many things, can in turn betray the audience. So in this case, I would say it might make me feel a little bit insecure. I don't know. I think I won't, if I'll pick not to choose at all, because it's just the outcome seemed to be too catastrophic. I don't want to think about a question like that, but I can only give you probably what would happen, just hypothesis of the two scenarios. So no, yes, I think I would like to know, but probably just better if it would be better if I can only keep it to myself, because I'm afraid that people might use the information to harm her. That's the least thing I want. So if I got a chance to probably know it, yeah, I'll probably get to know it. It's just as I mentioned, the insecurity. I'm kind of afraid that what if she graduates someday? I'm kind of afraid of losing her, if being blatantly honest, because I really enjoyed their performances. But the management company they were in, normally they will kind of sign a contract with the talents they find out for at least 6 years. It's basically like once your career in Vtuber ended, once you stop playing the character, it has no value to this company. And they won't kind of release you to perform other things or perform as yourself, because they're afraid that your new performances would damage the value of the old IP. So probably saying goodbye to them as ASO, I think probably means the end of their career, or just at least for seeing them again, it might take a few years. So yes, I think I want to know, because I want to be able to find her again. That's a positive way of knowing. And then there'll also be a negative way of knowing, because it's like going on stages. You do makeups, they have avatars, and their voice is already beautiful, and they're quite prepared for everything. And they won't share the worst thing happening in the days to you. They sometimes do, but once they've done that, they need to say something to kind of change the air, to kind of make it seem more entertaining. What they are presenting to the audience is always good, perfect. It can be imperfect, but it's happy. There are a lot of bad things, a lot of hard things about their lives that they won't show us at all. So even we know there must be dark sides in their lives, we don't have a concept of that at all, because we never know that. Especially when we don't know the person in real life, don't know their previous identity, don't know their life experiences. We have nowhere to start to guess. And once, when you know this person in real life and everything, the bitterness of human life just got revealed and exposed, I think the pure audio image immune to, the burden of life would sort of collapse. But if things can just go smoothly and correctly like now, then I don't need to know. It can just remain the same, because what they are presenting, the virtual world is immune to the corporality and the or our reality, it's good enough. Just let it be like that. So thank you for watching. In this video, I tried a new form of presenting things. I hope you don't mind it, and it would be better if you like it. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas about the virtual streamers and the person in real lives, of course, like, don't say the real names, don't point to any specific virtual streamers. Thank you. You can leave a comment and let me know. I'm actually kind of, excited to hear other people's opinions about that. So you're very welcome to do so. And if you like my content, you can buy me a coffee at Ko-Fi. I'll see you in the next one.